What moves can you make to help your fantasy fortunes going forward? And we'll start out by starting Jameis Winston. You should have been starting him already here in week number 6. The guy has been money since last season. He was the number 9 scoring fantasy quarterback when he was on the field. Obviously, he was injured a little bit, had some struggles, but he delivered today almost 400 passing yards, had 4 touchdowns, ran for 30 yards as well. So going forward, he's a top 12 fantasy quarterback. Make sure you start him against Cleveland in week 7. Next up, another guy you should be starting, Taylor Gabriel. Again, this guy could have been in lineups this week. He has back-to-back 100-plus yard receiving games. He's a number 2 target in this Bears offense, averaging 7 targets per game. Mitch Trubisky loves him. He goes deep to him. He can make big plays. So right now, Taylor Gabriel available in a lot of ESPN leagues. Scoop him up, put him in your fantasy lineup. And finally, another guy you have to add this week is Marlon Mack. He is the lead back for the Indianapolis Colts. He struggled with injuries, but he did play well last season. Comes back today from the injury and plays pretty well. Almost 100 yards from scrimmage. Was the clear feature back in that Colts offense. So get him in your lineup, fire him up, and Mack should be able to deliver flex numbers going forward.
So where does he rank amongst quarterbacks, Matthew? Because there's a lot of question marks concerning his return in that team now.
Yeah, I mean, I have him as a top 8 fantasy quarterback this week, and not just this week, but I mean, I think he's potentially a top 10 guy the rest of the way. I mean, what's amazing to me is Jameis Winston's still out there in like 40-some-odd% of ESPN leagues. Like if I said to you, I said, hey guys, Patrick Mahomes is available in your league, wouldn't you rush to the waiver wire and get him? Well, the Tampa Bay quarterback position leads the NFL in fantasy points per game at the quarterback position, more than Patrick Mahomes. And last year, if you think about what Jameis Winston did down the stretch last year, his last 5 games, he led the NFL in terms of fantasy points among quarterbacks. He led the NFL in passing yards. And I think it's a better offense and more primed for fantasy success because of their defensive woes, because they can't run the ball, than it was last year, at the end of last year.
Why do you think people are sleeping on him then and hesitant to pick him up?
Well, there was some uncertainty whether or not he was going to get the job right when he came back.
3-week
that probably has
suspension, the bye in week 5, the idea that you would get 1 week at max of utility in the first 5 of the fantasy regular season was probably the biggest reason why, as of this week, he was available in 87% of leagues.